Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast, Festival Edition. Today we are with Diane Strong. She's with Bourbon on the Banks. Looking forward to this one. Diane, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, give us a little background on you, Diane. Where'd you grow up? Talk a little bit about your family and your career.
I grew up in northern Minnesota, about an hour and a half from the Canadian border. I live in Frankfort, Kentucky now, but came here by way of Alaska, Montana, Colorado, but I've been in Kentucky for about 23 years. Went to college for equine business and psychology, went to graduate school for vet science. My life was surrounded by horses in the first half, but the second half is much different. So I'm an event director now.
There you go. There you go. Still have horses, still involved in any level with that?
Nope. We sold the farm and the horses and the goats and chickens and the whole 9 yards. It's been probably 12 years ago.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, let's jump into Bourbon on the Banks. Give us, I guess, I always really ask these three questions. What does it look like? What does it smell like? Meaning food. What does it sound like? Environment, activities going on.
So when I describe Bourbon on the Banks, it's just energy. It's just excitement, and people kind of line up ahead of time and to get in. And once they get in, it's just big smiling faces with anticipation. People come down the walkway into the park, and you are basically seeing, we have over 60 distilleries, bourbon distilleries, whiskey distilleries. We have other spirits present there, some breweries, some wineries. We have bourbon merchants and a food court. So I think you're smelling a lot of bourbon. You're on the Kentucky River. We're just a stone's throw from the Buffalo Trace distillery. So you might even smell some mash. Here in Frankfort, a lot of us wake up in the morning to the smell of mash in the air. And nice. It's pretty lovely. I like it. Anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Where did the concept of this festival come from?
So this was the brainchild of Wendy Kobler. She was working for the University of Kentucky at the time, and she was new to Kentucky, I believe. And she saw the enthusiasm for bourbon that a lot of us, I think, took for granted in Frankfurt because we're surrounded by it. And she saw it as an opportunity to bring people here and experience bourbon. And so she kind of created this event in 2019. That was the very first year. And she went on to do other things after that. And I stepped into place, and we took all of the things that worked out well, and we've made them better. And the things that didn't work out so well, we kind of got rid of it, and we've been tweaking it and making it better every year ever since.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. All right, let's jump in a little bit more to the festival. What kind of foods are people going to experience? They always ask us about food.
So I've got a gal who's in charge of coordinating the food trucks and food tents, and she tries to get a little bit of everything, always keeping in mind that it pairs well with bourbon. But we've got everything from barbecue to, we've got a lady that sells, she's called the inebriated baker. She sells baked goods with alcohol in them. That's really good. There's like flying waffle, which is just this, they make waffle items that are both savory and sweet. And I think she's got a lobster truck coming this year. I mean, it's just a little bit of everything, She tries to think of vegans and, vegetarians, but also carnivores, and it's a little bit of everything.
Are there foods that don't go with bourbon?
I would say some real spicy foods might conflict a little bit, but I mean, it's just, to each their own. Everybody, I think you can make anything work, honestly.
All right. Now, let's talk about other activities that are non-bourbon related. What else is going on that day? Do you have entertainment? Do you have activities for the kids? What do you got going on?
So the actual festival on Saturday is not for kids. It's 21 and older only. We do not allow kids in there. We do have music. There's 6 music stations. set up with just a couple of people singing. It's background music. There is an after party that's sponsored by Goodwood Brewing. That's just a few steps away outside of the event. That's open to everyone, and it's free. But for the kids and the families, we've not forgotten about them. The Friday before, we have an event called Bourbon Street on Broadway. That's hosted by Express Credit Union here in town. And that is like a circus themed, just performer filled. It's lots of free stuff for kids to do. We've got, we do have an actual circus that's there. We've got fire performers. We've got human statues and jugglers and just all kinds of people walking the street entertaining you. And there's lots of food trucks there as well. There's drinks. We have the mixed district here in Frankfurt. You can go into a bar and you can carry your drinks out in the streets and stuff. And like I said, there's a lot of free stuff for kids. We have the old Capitol, and that entire lawn is filled with free things for kids to do. It's face painting, and there'll be balloon tying and things.
I got you. That sounds the way, just the way it should be. Diane, what's the main reason you guys keep this festival going?
Well, I mean, it's to bring people here into Frankfurt. 55% of the attendees are from out of state, not even out of town, from out of state. And to me, that's amazing. We are in such a great location. We're just, miles away from dozens of distilleries. So you have access to a lot of great things, but, Buffalo Trace Distillery is right here in Frankfurt. They have free tours, and last year had almost 500,000 tourists that visited it, and they're aiming for 1 million this year. But not only that, we have such rich history here in Frankfurt. We have walking tours where you can go see with E.H. Taylor. We've got a gentleman that dresses up like E.H. Taylor, and he'll walk you around and talk about where E.H. Taylor lived and the history of the people who have lived in the city. We've got the History Museum here, a city museum. We've got the state capitol that you can visit. I mean, there's a lot of things right here in Frankfurt that a person can do. And, we're conveniently located to Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati. But you can get it all right here. And it's a small town. It's very walkable. The most friendly people you'll ever meet. And so we just want to introduce the world to Frankfurt, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. 2 questions that I always ask in every interview, because I like to survey the nation to find out what their opinion is. This is just a personal opinion, Diane. What is the best concert you've ever seen yourself?
Okay. I think I'd have to say George Strait. He's, I know that like Taylor Swift puts on a show, and then there's artists that fly around and, they blow up in fire. George Strait, the only thing he did is he stood on stage. He wasn't even playing guitar. He had his arms set on his guitar singing, and I screamed the entire time, and I don't know why. My husband did the same thing. And, I would say Garth Brooks was pretty close too. And I did attend Lollapalooza in 90 something. And that was okay, but that scared me because it was so congested with people, and I felt out of control.
We hear a lot of people mention those 2 names. They're always mentioned almost as it goes through there. Okay, dead or alive, you could bring one musical act to your after party, to your town. Who would you bring?
Oh my word. Did you give that question to me in advance? Because I don't remember getting it.
Yep.
Oh my word. I don't know. Gosh. Okay, so any musical act, huh?
Yep.
You know what? I guess I would say Taylor Swift, because her tickets are so hard to get.
So
I don't know.
No, that's perfect. I saw well, I've seen a lot on TikTok lately about Taylor Swift. Apparently,
well, and that's it too. I think that's why I said it.
Apparently, it's a 3.5-hour show, and her only breaks are just wardrobe changes. I'm if it's true, I'm just like blown away because she's doing way more on stage than what I do, and I'm beat after 90 minutes. And so that Garth Brooks is always one of my favorite entertainers. Like I couldn't believe the energy that he expels in one show, and to know that he was doing 2 shows a night.
Yeah.
Just crazy. So yeah, no. And then I saw, of course, a dad TikTok on Taylor Swift, and he's like, man, this is great. He gets his concession, he goes to the bathroom, he gets his food and all his merchandise while she's performing, and the lobbies are just desolate, completely empty. So I'm glad people are enjoying it, and I'm glad she's doing that. Yeah, no, you would have to close your town down. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And but you bring hundreds of thousands of people in on top of that, so that's perfect. All right, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't think logistically we can handle that many people, but you know what? We'd make it work.
Yeah, you would. You would just bring police forces from other cities over. That's what they do.
And they could camp out.
Yes, exactly. Okay. I've asked you a ton of questions today. I've been selfish. This is a segment of the show. You get to ask me a question. Diane, what would you ask me?
What's your favorite pet?
My favorite pet. Did you just pull that out? That was great.
Yeah, in your entire life.
My favorite pet in my entire life. You kind of changed it on me. Boy. Well, it has to be a real pet. I'm going to say my horse. I think either my horse or my childhood dog, but I think probably my horse, because really they are truly a pet. Even though we use them, we take care of them like that, and you spend a lot of time with them. So that's a unique question, Diane. Thank you for that. That's great. All right, Diane, how do people find out more about Bourbon on the Banks? Number one, highlight again for them when it is and where they can get information on it.
So it's October 6th and 7th in Frankfort, Kentucky. We have a couple more events that are involved with this event that are not available online quite yet. There's a Friday VIP and reception that'll take place. That's ticketed as well. But if you go to bourbononthebanks.org, all of the information, frequently asked questions, everything you need to know is there. And then once the other tickets are available, we actually have a bourbon pairing on the Bourbon Bell on the Kentucky River with celebrity chef Weta Michael that will take place on Sunday as well. So those tickets will be coming soon. Right now we have the festival tickets available. The early access are almost completely sold out. So if you're thinking about coming, I'd get on it and get some tickets soon. And I would definitely book your hotel in advance and tell them that you're here for Bourbon on the Banks, because most of them are going to give you a better deal.
Sure they are. That's great.
Well, we've got blocks of rooms for our event, and so as long as they're in those blocks of rooms, they'll get a discount.
That's nice if they do that and they don't take advantage. That's good. That's perfect. Very good. All right, guys, check her out. Check Bourbon on the Banks and let us know how it is. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
You bet.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle